Excuse me. Take 25. I apologize if today's video I'm gonna sound a little bit off. I'm getting over a sore throat and it's a little bit hard for me to speak, but I really want to get this one out to you. So here we go. I consider Isaiah to be the quintessential end-time prophet, meaning that his overarching narrative addresses end-time scenarios through his writings, which first addressed the current events of his day. He is the most quoted of all prophets in the Old Testament. He was more quoted by Jesus Christ, by Peter, Paul, and also by John in his apocalyptic writings in the New Testament. He is more quoted in the Book of Mormon and also the Doctrine and Covenants than any other prophet. Jesus Christ told the people at Bountiful the following in 3 Nephi chapter 23 verses 1 through 3. And now, behold, I say unto you that ye ought to search these things, yea, a commandment I give unto you, that ye search these things diligently. For great are the words of Isaiah. For surely he spake as touching all things concerning my people, which are of the house of Israel. Therefore it must needs be that he must speak also to the Gentiles. And all things that he spake have been and shall be, even according to the words which he spake. Did you catch that? I'll read that again, verse 3. And all things that he spake have been and shall be. So let's go back and continue where we left off yesterday in 2 Nephi chapter 6. And in verse 3, where Jacob continues talking to his people, he says, Nevertheless, I speak unto you again, for I am desirous for the welfare of your souls. Yea, mine anxiety is great for you, and ye yourselves know that it ever has been. For I have exhorted you with all diligence, and I have taught you the words of my Father, and I have spoken unto you concerning all things which are written from the creation of the world. Jacob had just preached to them a sermon about their entire history from the beginning of creation. And now he's about to mirror what Jesus said at Bountiful, which I just read to you. And in verse 4, he says, And now behold, I would speak unto you concerning things which are, and which are to come. Wherefore, I will read you the words of Isaiah, and they are the words which my brother has desired that I should speak unto you. And I speak unto you for your sakes, that ye may learn and glorify the name of your God. Jacob reiterates or mirrors what Jesus Christ said at Bountiful here in verse 4. Jesus having said, all things that Isaiah spake have been and shall be. And Jacob says, I would speak unto you concerning things which are and which are to come. The King James Version of the Bible is archaic and clunky, in my opinion. Many people prefer the NIV version, but when it comes to Isaiah, I personally much prefer the Avraham Gileadi translation, which I explained about in my previous video. So now I will harmonize 3 Nephi chapter 23 verse 3 and Jacob chapter 6 verse 4, which I just read, with Gileadi's translation of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 8, which reads, Go now, write on tablets concerning them, meaning the house of Israel, recorded in a book for the end time, as a testimony forever. So the writings of Isaiah deal with events of his day as well as events beyond his time, some of which Jacob likens to his people. The bulk of Isaiah's prophecies deal with the coming of Jesus Christ, both in his first appearance and as the great king at the last day as the God of Israel. A major theme is that God requires righteousness of his people, and until they obey him, they will be smitten and scattered by their enemies. But in the end, Israel will be restored, the barren land will be made fruitful and able to support a large population, and the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, will dwell in the midst of his people, who will be called Zion. And like God's ancient ancient covenant people were smitten and scattered, today's covenant people, meaning Latter-day Saints, will experience a similar fate. And you can read about some of that in D&C section 45. A sword hangs over the United States, and we will not escape judgment. But remnants will be gathered afterward to build a holy city, just like before. In other words, history will essentially repeat itself.